Alright. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say, Kalayim Yehovah, Shema Shah, Bashima Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles again, those still in GMS, to all teach well. And, should actually say, Shabbat, Shalom, because, it's Wednesday, sundown, so, the Sabbath is in, so you keep it, until tomorrow at sundown. And that will be, the Sabbath day. 6 days you work, and the seventh is the Sabbath day. And as we all know, Sabbath day, you do nothing according to your pleasure. So like you shouldn't be watching anime or this movie or that movie. You should just focus on the truth or watch things that are going to educate you and help you make videos or give you camp topics or something. I don't know, right? Or things that just inform you, make you think about scriptures. So, for the inspiration for this lesson, I want to talk about this one, Isaiah 11, 12, and 13 is really, 13 is really the point, but I'll start at 12. Be up inside for the nations shall assemble. Thou cast Israel, you got together this voice of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Right? It says here, Paul was a chosen vessel to preach the word to the uncircumcision, i.e. the Israelites that were keeping the law. Romans 2 and 25, Galatians 2 and 7. So that's what that one. We can move on, right? The envy also Ephraim shall depart, and the adversary of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. Right? And of course the nations is talking about us, right? Not talk about all nations. It's ridiculous. This is all talking about, the 12 tribes, right? All the tribes. It's talking about Israelites. It's not talking about these other nations. These other nations have nothing to do with our bloodline and with, the kingdom. They're not gonna have, they're not gonna be given, they'll be in their lands and things like that, but they're gonna be under us. They're not gonna get any taste of the new covenant. They're not going to be, immortal. They're not going to have new bodies. Absolutely not. They are going to be forced to follow our ways, though, right? And they'll come to us, right? Like it says in Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, right? So there will no longer be hatred between another kingdom, that's the kingdom of Judah, right? And right, I don't know if I read it. Envy also Ephraim shall depart, and says Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah. And Judah should not vex Ephraim. Right? Of course, adversaries of Judah. Same thing as adversaries Ephraim. The southern kingdom and northern kingdom adversaries are all the same. I'll start with so-called white men. Going to Psalm 83. Adversaries of all these nations. They're all our enemies. And of course, we have enemies even among our own people. These 2/3. Who basically, it's really the Most High, but the Most High has all played out where Esau's using a lot of these 2/3. And pulling the strings, and having them turn against us. Think about that, what he did to our woman, with feminism. Think like that. But, the reason why I brought this out was because, I was in the gym. No, I wasn't in the gym during the Sabbath. That's fucking stupid. I'm not reckless with my life. I like, my head where it is. I like my arms where they are. I'm not reckless with my life. I don't want to get destroyed, by the Most High, right? I don't want to play those kind of games, right? But I was there, and I was talking to a Jake, which, I'm cordial with people in the world. We don't have to be best friends. I'm not gonna go visit your house or, I'll politely decline. I'm not gonna, go out and oh man, afterwards go out together or something. Nah, but if I see you around, we'll swap a couple words or whatever. But he was telling me something. I don't even know how we got to this point, but he was talking about how while he was growing up, that he was getting a lot of shit from Judah, and they would call him white boy, right? And of course, this guy, he looks like a straight up Ephraimite, you know, but you have to always constantly defend himself, and really get into a lot of fights growing up. And he's a older Northern Kingdom Jake, and I want to say like maybe like I don't know, 40s maybe, but not that old. It's really not no age is really that old, at least according to the Most High. I mean, it's 1,000 years is one day. So it's nothing in the grand scheme of things. But the Jake was talking. He was like, yeah, he used to get to a lot of fights or whatever, and he would be fighting back because his father was a martial artist or whatever, and you call him crazy or some shit. But then he would start talking to me about like it was always just stupid growing up. How people don't understand history. He was talking about how his grandfather was actually Taino, and I was like, oh shit. I mean, I didn't tell him that you're an Israelite. I didn't explain none of that to him. But I was just like, hey, people don't understand history and backgrounds. He said that he had a grandmother that was Chinese, right? Other grandmother, great grandmother. I think he said Taino was either his grandfather's great grandfather, one of those things, But he said he called them Taino. He called them a black Indian, right? Which there's no, black Indian. I mean, it's possible that his grandfather could have been, his great grandfather could have been, a Taino, right? Or like one of the tribes, the Kingdom tribes are already in Puerto Rico, right? And he could have, popped a black woman or something, and then boom. Or it's very possible that, he could actually secretly be a Judite, like he could be his father could have actually been Judah, sleeping with a Taino woman or something like that. And then I don't know. That's not. I don't know. I'm not asking people, about all their business like that. Just, you just talk, you just make it small talk, and he mentioned that stuff, and of course we know, according to the scriptures, man, that hey, you are what your father is. People really need to grasp that. A lot of the confusion will be gone, but that's just one of there were many things that I heard. That just goes to show you that envy, that just because Ephraim may be a little bit lighter, Judah will vex him and get on his case, call him a white boy when full well that he ain't no white boy, right? And that's where all the confusion comes, Jake. Of course, when we into the truth, that's gone, right? Of course, it's 100% will come among all the tribes in the kingdom because we won't have to teach each other, right? So part of the things that we have to teach each other is that, hey, I don't gotta teach you that, hey, like, just because this guy is Ephraim, he's a little bit lighter, he don't look like the way Ephraim used to look, when you look at images like in the tribes and stuff, or even the tribes that were originally there. When I say tribes, I mean they're all the same tribe, but you know what I mean, like the ones that look originally, that a little bit darker and things like that, because they look a little bit different, right? As long as their seed line goes back to the 12 tribes, to Israelites, the seed line go back to Ephraim, Taínos and things like that, then they are Israelites. They are your people, But we could get a few more and then I'll close. I think I'll just get this one. It's Book of Jeremiah 3. Yeah, I start the 17. That time they shall call Jerusalem the throne of the Lord, and all nations shall be gathered unto it. To name the Lord to Jerusalem, neither shall they walk any more to the imagination of the evil heart, right? Talking about the kingdom. In those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers. Right? Now, a lot of people that probably try to argue and say, oh, well, that's talking about Babylon, right? One sense. Yeah, because, we left that, but, you didn't have both of the tribes. You didn't have everyone leave, out of Babylon, the northern kingdom. A large chunk of them, they already came over to, Americas, pretty much by that point. Well, actually, yeah, by that point, because, I think brothers break it down that, by the time, Syria fell, Neo-Syria fell, the Babylonians rose, that northern kingdom took that opportunity to escape, and that's how they came over to America. You gotta get into second address, I think 11 or 13 goes into it. Might be 13. That goes into the whole thing, but they should come together, right? So that's what's gonna happen. It's that deliverance, with the chariots of the northern and the southern kingdom, and that's gonna come. And as I said before, what we just read, that starts with the truth. Us not having that enmity, Judah, vexing Ephraim because they look a certain way, and then Ephraim vexing Judah because Judah looked a certain way, It's all they darker, so I ain't gonna fuck with them. And Judah's like, oh, well, he lighter. He don't want to fuck with us anyway, so fuck him. That stuff ends with us, starting with us. We don't look at each other that kind of way. It's bullshit, right? All the complexion stuff is bullshit, right? Because, you can, have a so-called, you got a lighter complexion, but then, your great-grandfather or your grandfather can be, straight up Nigerian or something, Judite, Likewise, you can be on the darker side, but then it's like, your grandfather could be, Ephraimite. You got darker skinned Ephraimites. You got lighter skinned looking Judites. You got lighter skinned looking Benjamites. It varies, man. It's what it is. Everyone's being out. The Lord likes variety. So that's pretty much it. But Lord edify, and that's it, shalom.